Hey YouTube, this is the first part in my beginner's guide to Nitro RC. And this is part 1, what should I do when I first get a Nitro RC car? So the first thing I'm going to talk about is Loctite. Now, you see on the bottom of the chassis here, there's all these screws. And there's 4 here, very important screws that are connected to your engine. And metal screws that go into metal can often shake loose, and especially ones around the engine. So what you want to do is get some Loctite. There you go, there's a nice advert for Loctite there. You want the blue stuff, you can see under the cap here, that's blue. Now the blue stuff is good because it will stop fuses coming out from vibrations, but if you want to take them out, it's pretty easy to do so. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to apply thread lock onto your screws. So when doing your engine mount screws, they'll obviously, if you've got an RTR kit ready to run, they'll already be installed. So what I suggest is that you don't take them out all the way. No, you don't take all of them out at once, sorry. Just remove one at a time so your engine doesn't come loose, and then you have to worry about setting it back in the right place again. So what you do is take a cloth first, clean up the thread of the screw a bit, clean up the thread of the screw, and take your Loctite under the lid. Yeah. And now with it still on your Allen wrench, just apply it all over the thread here. Ooh, there we go, nice look. And then just screw it back into the engine. Make sure you screw it back in nice and tight. So that's basically that, and then repeat this with all the other screws. And then make sure you cap your... Right, there we go. So that's step 1. And now, obviously you repeat that on all the other screws, and any other screws you've got going into metal around the whole kit. So, I'm just going to take the body shell off now. And the next thing I'm going to talk about is the air filter. Now, this is the air filter. It's just this little bit of foam here. Let me get a zoom on that. It's just this little bit of foam here. It just cleans all dust and dirt molecules from the air, so they don't get into your carburetor and into your engine. Because if that happens, you know, your engine's going to be killed very quickly. So what you're going to need to do is go onto eBay or Google or something and search for air filter oil. It's just comes in a little bottle like this, like Loctite. Actually, I haven't actually got any at the moment, but what you're going to want to do is just apply it all over your air filter, squish it around a bit and put it in there. What that'll do is make sure that finer dirt particles don't get into your engine. Next, yeah, spur gear mesh. You see down here, you have this metal gear down here. Can you see that? There we go, we have this metal gear down here. And this is called a clutch bell. And this gear connecting to it, usually a bigger gear, is called your spur gear. Now, the mesh between these two gears is really important, because if you haven't got it right, you'll end up stripping the spur gear or your clutch gear. So one way to test this is to get a piece of paper and just slip it in between these two gears. Just driving the car around the ground. There we go. And then pull it out and look at the imprint that is made on the paper. Can you see that? No, I don't think you can see that. But if it's penetrating the paper and causing it to rip, your gear is too tight, and you're going to have to loosen the screws off a bit and move the engine away from this little gear. If you, however, get hardly any imprint, you're going to have to move it closer as well. So if you don't do that, you'll end up stripping this gear and you just have to buy a new one. Another way to test is to roll it along the ground. If it rolls nice and smooth, but you can feel a little resistance there, you know, that's going to be about right. So let me just zoom back out. There we go. So that's spur gear. Also, you're going to want to just take a screwdriver and run over every single screw on the kit before you actually run it for the first time. So just make sure they're all nice and tight. Right, there we go. And also, take your wheel wrench and make sure all the wheel nuts are nice and tight. Don't over tighten them, because you end up stripping a screw or something. What else? Yep. You're going to see where there's a metal, say a shaft or a rod driving somewhere, like in the gearbox and at the end of your clutch bowl. There's going to be these little bearings, and usually these are lubricated, pre-oiled when you get the ready to run kit. But just to be on the safe side, take some WD-40, and wherever you see these little bearings, like say down here, there's one down there. With a quick burst. Now that was excessively too much. Always seems to happen, doesn't it? Like a quick burst and then end up getting swamping the whole place with WD-40. But anyway, that's just to make sure that's all free running. You want to put as little strain in the engine as you possibly can. So I think that pretty much concludes the first part of this series. So make sure to check out the other parts. I'll put a link in the sidebar thing, and I'll make this into a playlist so you can easily get to them all. So thanks for watching, and yeah, make sure you watch the other videos.